the 1950s, a golden era when America boomed after the war, brimming with optimism and a craving for all things new and dazzling. Cars weren't just transportation, they were shining symbols of status, lifestyle, and success. With glimmering chrome, bold curves, and signature tail fins, manufacturers raced fiercely to create machines that seemed to be straight out of a sci-fi movie. Join us as we journey back in time to uncover the forgotten secrets of 25 of the worst American cars from the 1950s. These monsters that not only failed spectacularly in their own time, but also left a notorious legacy in automotive history. You'll see sometimes the most dazzling things turn out to be the biggest mistakes. 1951 Ford Crestliner. The first car on our list is the 1951 Ford Crestliner, introduced as a premium trim designed to add style and flair to Ford's lineup, which was still recovering after World War II. However, despite its intended position as a fashionable option, the Crestliner failed to impress buyers, and its awkward design choices overshadowed its solid mechanical performance. One of the Crestliner's distinguishing features was its two-tone paint job, which was supposed to make it look luxurious and sporty, but the execution was often underwhelming, resulting in an unbalanced and clumsy appearance. The addition of a vinyl roof and unique side moldings was meant to make the car stand out, but ultimately made it look cumbersome and almost haphazard. The Crestliner offered no significant technological or performance advancements over other Ford models of its time. While not mechanically bad, it was essentially an aesthetic variation of Ford's standard sedan. This car was only produced for a short period, 1950 to 1951, and was quickly eclipsed by more popular Ford models. Today, the Crestliner is a niche vehicle among classic car collectors, primarily appealing to those interested in its brief place in Ford history rather than its design or performance. 1958 Lincoln Continental. Mark III. Next up is the 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III, an icon of excess in 1950s American automotive design. Lincoln aimed to redefine American luxury with the Mark III, but it ultimately became the epitome of extravagance, lacking the performance and practicality buyers expected. With its bulky design, poor handling, and high fuel consumption, this car left a poor impression. The Mark III was one of the largest cars of its time, over 18 feet long and weighing nearly 5,000 pounds. This colossal size made it difficult to maneuver on the road, especially in urban areas, and almost impractical for daily driving. Its design was also criticized for its oversized tail fins, elaborate grille, and excessive chrome, creating a heavy rather than luxurious appearance. Although equipped with a powerful 7.0-liter V8 engine producing 375 horsepower, its massive weight meant the car still accelerated slowly and handled poorly, making it feel sluggish. Its abysmal fuel economy, coupled with frequently unreliable high-tech features, made the Mark III a costly investment. This car damaged Lincoln's reputation and failed to compete with Cadillac, becoming a misstep in the brand's evolution. Today, the Mark III is remembered as a testament to the idea that bigger isn't always better. 1950 DeSoto Custom. We move on to another example of design and performance shortcomings. The 1950 DeSoto Custom. This model was part of DeSoto's post-war lineup, but failed to meet expectations in performance, design, and innovation. In a rapidly evolving automotive market, the DeSoto Custom became outdated, struggling to compete with more modern and efficient models from other manufacturers. The DeSoto Custom was larger and heavier than many of its rivals, making it feel sluggish on the road. The car's weight combined with its unimpressive engine contributed to poor acceleration and handling. It was equipped with a flathead 6-cylinder engine that produced only about 112 horsepower, a figure that was sufficient pre-war but too weak by 1950, especially considering its heavy chassis. The DeSoto Custom's design was quite conservative, carrying over much of the styling from previous models, making it look dated when rivals like Cadillac and Ford were introducing more modern and stylish designs. It lacked advanced features like automatic transmissions or improved suspension systems. The DeSoto Custom marked a turning point for the brand, contributing to DeSoto's gradual decline, ultimately leading to its discontinuation in the early 1960s. 1959 Mercury Colony Park. Next on this list is the 1959 Mercury Colony Park, a large station wagon that became a prime example of over-the-top excess in 1950s American car design. With its immense size, heavy chrome accents, and massive tail fins, The Colony Park prioritized style over substance. Unfortunately, its poor performance, inefficiency, and cumbersome design made it one of the most impractical cars of its era. The Colony Park was one of the largest station wagons of its time, with a length and weight that made it difficult to handle, especially in urban settings. Despite being advertised as a powerful wagon, the Colony Park's performance was sluggish due to its heavy weight, even with a V8 engine. This car was notorious for its poor fuel economy, which became a significant drawback as fuel prices rose in the late 1950s. Its design was further criticized for its excessive chrome and large tail fins, which were already going out of style by the end of the decade. Coupled with other superfluous design elements, the car's overall aesthetic looked dated as the 1960s approached. The Colony Park is a clear example of how Mercury and other brands with large, inefficient cars lost touch with consumer needs. 1953 Pontiac Chieftain. Next we have the 1953 Pontiac Chieftain, a low-end full-size car that failed to capture buyers' attention in an increasingly competitive market. As a carryover model from the early 1950s, it introduced no significant innovations or improvements. By 1953, its design was outdated, and it lagged behind rivals in both style and performance. The Chieftain's styling had seen few changes since its late 1940s debut. By 1953, automotive design was shifting towards sleeker, more streamlined shapes, but the Chieftain retained a boxy, bulky appearance that looked antiquated. The 1953 Chieftain featured abundant chrome trim, a popular fashion trend of the era, but it was poorly executed on this model. Instead of enhancing its appeal, the excessive chrome made the car look gaudy and overdone. The Chieftain was equipped with either an inline 6-cylinder engine or an optional inline 8-cylinder engine, but neither option delivered impressive performance. Pontiac had yet to introduce a V8 engine by 1953, a critical misstep as V8s were becoming standard for American full-size cars. This left the Chieftain with weak performance, especially compared to rivals like Ford and Chevrolet, both of whom already offered V8s at the time. 1956 Plymouth Belvedere. We continue with the 1956 Plymouth Belvedere, a mid-range car that aimed to catch attention with flashy styling and bold tail fins. However, while visually successful, it fell short in other crucial areas like performance, handling, and overall driving experience. Its over-the-top styling made it look more garish than elegant, and beneath the flashy exterior, the Belvedere was a heavy, sluggish car that offered little in terms of driving dynamics. One of the biggest issues with the Belvedere was its weight. Its large body and extensive use of chrome made it heavier than many rivals, impacting performance and making the car feel sluggish. The Belvedere's acceleration, even with the V8 engine option, was unimpressive. Its heavy chassis coupled with an overburdened engine meant the car required more maintenance than its competitors. Its steering was vague and its suspension soft, leading to a floaty and disconnected driving experience. The Plymouth Belvedere was overshadowed by more iconic cars from that era and didn't become a classic or collector's car like other 1950s vehicles. 1958 Buick Limited. And here's the 1958 Buick Limited, once the epitome of American luxury, but which became a misguided attempt to outdo every rival and failed. At over 19 feet long and weighing nearly 5,000 pounds, it was more like a land yacht than a car, especially in an era when streets and parking spaces were much tighter than today. Under the hood was a 364 cubic inch V8 engine. Sounds powerful, right? But its fuel economy was ridiculously bad, often dipping into single digits. Despite a lavish interior with leather seats and a full suite of power accessories, it still didn't make for a car you'd actually want to drive daily. The real problem wasn't just the size, it was the design philosophy. More chrome, more bulk, more flash. But the result was a bloated, expensive car that couldn't compete with its more balanced rivals. Buick only sold about 7,400 units before discontinuing the model in 1959. The Limited became a prime example of what happens when style overrides substance. 1956 Dodge La Femme. Next is a car with a unique but misguided marketing approach, the 1956 Dodge La Femme. This car stands out as one of the most ill-conceived and ultimately negatively received attempts to market a car specifically to women. Dodge's effort to cater exclusively to female drivers resulted in a vehicle that many found to be patronizing and overly simplistic in its appeal. Its pastel colors, floral patterns, and lack of serious automotive features led to abysmal sales and a swift disappearance from the market. The La Femme was advertised as a car designed specifically for women, featuring pink and white color schemes meant to evoke femininity. This concept was considered patronizing, as it reduced women to stereotypes focused solely on aesthetics, rather than seeing them as serious car buyers with diverse preferences. Its floral-patterned interior upholstery and matching accessories, including a purse and raincoat, were seen as gimmicky rather than practical or stylish. Under the hood, the La Femme offered only standard Dodge engines of the era, bringing no excitement or innovation. The La Femme's performance was merely average, further diminishing its appeal. Disappointing sales led to its discontinuation after just 1 year on the market. 1958. Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner. The next car is the 1958 Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner, notable for its innovative retractable hardtop, a feature that promised both worlds: a stylish convertible experience combined with the comfort of a hardtop. However, this engineering marvel ultimately became a symbol of complexity and unreliability. This intricate roof mechanism led to numerous issues. The complex system of motors, gears, and latches was prone to failure, often leaving owners stuck with a roof that wouldn't operate as intended. The retractable roof mechanism added significant weight to the car, not only impacting performance but also diminishing the car's handling, making it feel cumbersome and less responsive on the road. The added weight from the hardtop mechanism contributed to sluggish acceleration. The Skyliner was also criticized as a gas guzzler. The combination of a heavy body and an underpowered engine resulted in poor fuel economy. Although it initially attracted interest, sales of the Skyliner were highly disappointing. Many potential buyers chose more traditional convertibles or hardtops, which were more reliable and easier to use than the flashy features. The Skyliner is a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of over-engineering. 1950. Studebaker Starlight Coupe. Next, let's look at the 1950 Studebaker Starlight Coupe, a prime example of post-World War II American car design that surprised and perplexed many. Created by Virgil Exner and produced by the Studebaker Corporation, this model belonged to the Champion and Commander lines. One of the Starlight Coupe's most unique features was its wraparound rear window. This design was very different from typical car styling at the time, which usually featured separate side and rear windows. The Starlight Coupe had a rear window made from 4 fixed panes of glass, creating a panoramic effect that gave the car a distinctive, almost futuristic appearance. This design made the car look as if it were moving in 2 directions at once, a characteristic that both fascinated and confused many observers. Under the hood, the 1950 Studebaker Starlight Coupe featured a 2.8-liter 6-cylinder engine producing 85 horsepower. While the car's performance was modest by today's standards, it was competitive at the time. Despite being well regarded for its engineering innovations, the Starlight Coupe was not universally praised. Its avant-garde styling deeply polarized opinions. 1954. Buick Special. Moving to the 1954 Buick Special, part of Buick's second-generation Special line, produced from 1949 to 1955. During this period, Buick was known for its stylish designs and powerful engines. However, the 1954 models received mixed reviews, particularly regarding their front-end design. The drooping headlight bezels and somewhat frowning grille gave the car a unique but slightly sad appearance. This peculiar look led some to humorously compare the car to Marvin the paranoid android from science fiction. Despite criticism of its front-end styling, the 1954 Buick Special still had many strengths. It was available in various body styles, including sedans, coupes, and convertibles, catering to diverse buyer tastes and needs. Under the hood, the 1954 Buick Special featured a Fireball V8 engine with a displacement of 264 cubic inches and producing approximately 143 horsepower. This engine provided ample power for commuting and was paired with an automatic transmission, making it easier to drive. Buick responded quickly to customer feedback. By 1955, the design of Buick models improved significantly, especially at the front end, receiving a more attractive facelift that addressed aesthetic concerns and boosted the overall appeal of Buick cars in subsequent years. 1950 Nash Rambler. Next is the 1950 Nash Rambler, widely recognized as America's first successful compact car, though its appeal wasn't in its aesthetics. Developed by Nash Kelvinator Corporation, its design reflected a peculiar blend of automotive and appliance elements. While Nash engineers focused on technical aspects, the styling bore distinct hallmarks from Kelvinator's experience with refrigerators. Launched in 1949, the Rambler's design, characterized by its bathtub body with skirted fenders, originally appeared on larger Nash models. However, when applied to the smaller Rambler, this feature seemed a bit awkward. The enclosed front wheels and rounded shapes gave the car a playful, almost toy-like appearance that didn't resonate with American buyers, who were accustomed to associating size with status and quality in automobiles. The Rambler was equipped with Nash's reliable 172.6 cubic inch six-cylinder engine, producing 82 horsepower. Despite its engineering capability and pioneering role in the compact segment, the Rambler faced criticism primarily due to its unique styling. 1956. Studebaker Hawk. We continue with the 1956 Studebaker Hawk, part of a series that carried over Studebaker's highly regarded 1953 designs. Crafted by Robert Bork, these early models were noted for their striking looks. However, the 1956 update took a controversial turn in its design philosophy. The 56 Hawk featured a unique tombstone grille, a stark contrast to the smoother lines of earlier versions. This grille design became a prominent feature but received mixed reactions due to its unusual appearance. Furthermore, the exterior was criticized for its excessive chrome, which, rather than enhancing the car's elegance, made its look cluttered. The small tail fins on the 56 model were criticized as useless, too small to be functional, yet prominent enough to disrupt the car's overall symmetry. Under the hood, the Studebaker Hawk offered several engine options. Despite its controversial design choices, later models like the 1958 Golden Hawk continued to divide opinions, with its powerful, supercharged V8 engine being overshadowed by what many considered a cheap-looking aesthetic. If you had to pick one car from the 50s to drive every day, which would it be? And why? Let us know in the comments. 1952, Nash-Healey. And here's the 1952 Nash-Healey, a unique collaboration between American automaker Nash Kelvinator and Britain's Donald Healey Motor Company. This partnership aimed to create a luxurious sports car, blending American power with British craftsmanship. However, its most notable transformation came in 1952 when the renowned Italian designer Battista Pininfarina was brought in to redesign it. Farina's influence on the Nash-Healey's design was significant, but also controversial. The aluminum-bodied Roadster featured a lower one-piece windshield and distinctive rear fender curves. But it was the new grille and headlights that garnered the most attention. Set deep within the front fenders, these features gave the Nash-Healey an unusual appearance, leading some to compare it to a car trying to swallow another car. Despite its strong performance, this car struggled to attract mainstream buyers due to its bold design choices. Under the hood, the Nash-Healey boasted two engine options throughout its production. Despite its performance credentials and unique design elements, the Nash-Healey failed to resonate with the wider buying public. 1958. Edsel. It's impossible to talk about failed American cars of the 50s without mentioning the 1958 Edsel, a brand that has become synonymous with failure in American pop culture. Ford introduced it with high hopes, aiming for the Edsel to fill a gap between its Ford and Mercury lines and appeal to mid-range buyers. However, its unique design, particularly the front-end styling, quickly became the target of jokes. The car's most notable and controversial feature was its horse collar grille, which many compared to a toilet. Ford had hoped this grille would make the car stand out, but it ultimately became an object of ridicule. The car's overall proportions, especially in convertible models, also looked awkward and unbalanced to many. The Edsel also suffered from quality control issues, adding to its notoriety. It launched at a time when America was entering an economic recession, and demand for large, mid-range cars plummeted as American consumers began buying smaller, more economical vehicles. This contributed to its massive commercial failure, with estimated losses of $250 to $350 million and driving many Ford dealerships out of business. 1959. Studebaker Lark. And here's the 1959 Studebaker Lark, introduced as an affordable option for drivers seeking something smaller and less opulent than the larger cars of its era. Produced by the Studebaker Packard Corporation, the Lark aimed to provide practical and cost-effective transportation. It used the same basic body shell as larger Studebaker models from 1953 to 1958, which helped reduce costs and offered a car that fit many families' budgets. The Lark had a unique look, notable for its rather simplistic design that stood apart from the flashy styles prevalent in the late 1950s. Despite its compact size, the Lark offered good storage space, making it a solid choice for families. Under the hood, buyers could choose between two engines, a 2.8-liter inline six-cylinder with 90 horsepower, or a more powerful 4.2-liter V8 with 180 horsepower. However, the Lark's handling drew criticism, especially in V8 models, which tended to understeer due to their weight. The Lark ultimately struggled in the market, partly due to its conservative styling and modest power in a market full of flashier rivals. 1958, Oldsmobile 98. We continue with the 1958 Oldsmobile 98, a product of General Motors during an era known for bold, flashy car designs. But Oldsmobile pushed this style to the extreme, with the 1958 model adding an astonishing amount of chrome to the car. For some, the glitz of all that metal was appealing, but many others found it excessive. The car's ornamental body styling was overdone, stretching from front to back in a way that looked chaotic and busy. It seemed no limits were set on the amount of chrome used, creating a visually heavy appearance. The 1958 Oldsmobile 98 also featured headlights with a speed streak mascara design, which divided opinions. Some appreciated this unique touch, finding it daring, while others found it overly dramatic and excessive. Along the corner panels, additional trim lines resembling model railroad tracks further contributed to the car's busy appearance. These extra details did not enhance the car's beauty, but instead made its design more cluttered. Despite its advanced technology and powerful engine, the 1958 Oldsmobile 98 was more famous for its extreme looks. 1953, Kaiser Dragon. Moving to a car with a bold but polarizing design, the 1953 Kaiser Dragon. In 1953, Kaiser Motors Corporation introduced the Kaiser Dragon, a unique model built on their second-generation Kaiser car platform, known for its unusual styling. The Kaiser Dragon stood out with its double-dome windshield and the distinctive Darrin dip feature on the rear door, elements rarely seen in other models of its time. However, it was the 53 Dragon that truly pushed the boundaries of automotive style. The exterior of the Kaiser Dragon was particularly striking. It boasted an embossed and padded dragon skin vinyl roof, giving the car a textured look. Adding to its luxury were shiny gold trim accents, and an interior adorned with pen and ink bamboo patterns on vinyl seats. These features made the Kaiser Dragon's design polarizing, attracting both admiration and criticism. Despite its luxurious details, the Kaiser Dragon faced market challenges. 1954, Nash Metropolitan. Next, we arrive at the 1954 Nash Metropolitan, known for its unique but clumsy design and poor performance. It was created to be a compact and affordable car, standing out from the larger, more luxurious vehicles popular in 1950s America. Produced by Nash Kelvinator Corporation and later by American Motors Corporation after its merger with Hudson in 1954, the Metropolitan was marketed as a second car for families, perfect for short trips and city driving. Although diminutive, the Metropolitan had a distinctive look with a rear-mounted Continental spare tire, adding a touch of flair to its simple design. Under the hood, the 1954 Metropolitan featured a 1.2-liter inline four-cylinder engine producing a modest 42 horsepower. This engine operated with a 3-speed manual transmission. While adequate for city driving, it struggled on highways and hills, leading to complaints about power. The car's top speed was around 70 miles per hour, and it took over 20 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour. 1954, Kaiser Darrin. And here's the 1954 Kaiser Darrin, designed by Howard Dutch Darrin and produced by Kaiser Motors for the 1954 model year, an ambitious car with advanced design features. Its fiberglass body made it the second American car, after the 1953 Corvette, to be built with this innovative material. One of the car's most remarkable characteristics was its sliding doors, which glided smoothly into the front fender wells, giving the Kaiser Darrin a sleek and modern appearance. The car was equipped with a 161 cubic inch F-head 6-cylinder engine, producing approximately 90 horsepower. It also came with a 3-speed manual transmission and an optional overdrive. While visually impressive, the Kaiser Darrin's performance was unremarkable compared to European sports cars like the Nash-Healey and Triumph TR2, which offered more power and agility. Production of the Kaiser Darrin was very limited, with only 435 production models and 6 prototypes built. Financial issues at Kaiser Motors ultimately forced the company to cease production of this car. 1955, Plymouth Fury. Next is the 1955 Plymouth Fury, often remembered for its eye-catching design and challenging handling. Introduced as a high-performance model, the Fury was Plymouth's attempt to compete with other fast cars of its time. It boasted a powerful engine and a stylish appearance, but was notorious for being difficult to manage. The 1955 Fury was equipped with a 241 cubic inch V8 engine, producing 157 horsepower. This engine worked with a 3-speed manual transmission, and buyers could also opt for a 2-speed PowerFlight automatic. The car's performance was impressive, reaching a top speed of about 110 miles per hour and accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 10 seconds. However, the Fury's handling was not good. Its suspension system, which included coil springs in the front and leaf springs in the rear, did not adequately support the high speeds the engine could achieve, leading to a bumpy and unstable driving experience on uneven roads. The car's handling issues were exacerbated by weight distribution, with a heavy engine in the front and a light rear, making it prone to understeer in sharp turns. 1951, Mercury Monterey. Finally on this list is the 1951 Mercury Monterey. At first glance, the Mercury Monterey looked like the American dream. Long, sweeping lines, gleaming chrome, and elegant proportions. Ford positioned it for buyers who wanted something more luxurious than a basic sedan, but weren't quite ready for a Lincoln. Aesthetically, the Monterey nailed it. It looked like the kind of coupe a movie star would drive, stylish and modern. But when you actually drove it, problems began to surface as soon as you hit the gas. Under the hood was a flathead V8 engine, adequate for city driving, but far from exciting. It may have looked strange, driven poorly, or represented an excess of flash, but each played a part in shaping a bold and chaotic chapter of American automotive history. They remind us that great looks aren't enough. Cool features aren't enough. A car truly succeeds only when it genuinely connects with its driver.